Hello, today is Tuesday, November the 5th, and this is our first golf lesson, or our first official lesson together outside of the golf season for the high school team. And what we want to do really is start with the foundation of the golf swing, mostly looking at the setup and the position. We're swinging the 50-degree gap wedge here just to start, and basically used it for the whole lesson because if we can get the components of one of the shorter clubs moving in the correct positions, then we're going to have elevated success as we work towards the longer clubs in the golf bag. If we get off track with the short clubs, then it obviously becomes more difficult as the clubs get a little bit longer. So I'm just going to pull up one of the golf swings here in the beginning where we actually are going to compare just my setup with yours. Now I'm swinging a 9-iron here in the picture off to the right. So what we wanted to do just to start is get your golf set up or your address position much more stabilized and balanced before you even start the golf swing. If you start your golf swing in a position to where you're set up, you're reaching for the ball and your distance and your balance is off, then yes, it's going to make your ball striking much more difficult as you go forward. So to me, the key component we want to look at each and every time that we get together for a golf lesson is making sure that your setup stays very well balanced and that you're not reaching, you're not too close to the ball, but you just create the right amount of distance and your posture is a lot better to start with. Alright, so as we fix the posture now, and let's remember what your ball flight patterns were when we first started a lesson too. Your ball flight with the address position over here on the left was obviously squirting out here to the right consistently. And once we get your setup improved, it was much easier for you to hit the ball straighter, as you can see. Now, we want to continue to work towards compressing the golf ball. Let's take a look at the swing over here, the before swing or the first swing that we took, and just kind of let the golf club go to the top. You can see where the golf club swings to, and what you do is you start to come back down towards impact position. So now there's a lot of things that we can look at, but let's simplify the moves just to start with, like we did in the first golf lesson. The main thing that I wanted to work on in this very first lesson is basically the movements of your body. So what you would do in your backswing is you would move and adjust your body a little bit. You can see your head dip forward, so you're even leaning more towards the ball now than you were even at address. And because of that, you're going to eventually have to start to back away from the golf ball. What I'd like to do is now also kind of show you what some of the better ball strikers are going to do on the LPGA Tour or the PGA Tour. If you look at Paula Creamer over here on the left, now yeah, she's swinging a driver or a long club, doesn't really matter, is the posture is going to be much more maintained going up, and the head or the body posture is going to work more towards the golf ball coming into the impact position. And this is what you're going to see. It doesn't really matter who you're looking at. Some men and women on the PGA and LPGA Tour are trying to stay very level, but the ones that really compress down and through it and tend to hit the ball very, very well and consistent have a tendency to actually lower the head in the downswing. Or let's put it this way, let's just say maintain posture or keep the spine angle more constant as we swing back to impact. And what you have the tendency to do is reach and then rise or lift away from the golf ball as you get more towards impact. So our goal in this first lesson was just to, again, get your balance and your setup so good that you have no choice but to stay more in it when you swing, and therefore, as you reach the impact position, you're working a little bit more towards the ball. So here's what we did closer towards the end. Let me get to the video where you're able to see yourself work a little bit more towards the ball with a better impact or a better address position to start, and you're going to see your body start to stay a little bit more over the ball coming down. Now remember one thing, this is obviously a practice swing over here in the right video, but what it's going to show us is that if you can stay more directly over the ball as opposed to lift more away from it, then you're going to start to have more consistency with your ball striking, and you're going to start to work more down and towards the golf ball to compress it. So you can see the consistency from the top of your swing, where your head is here at the top, and where your head is going to be at impact, as opposed to the very first swing, where your head is more down, even in the address position, because you're reaching for the ball. You even go a little bit lower, but then you really back away from it as you get towards impact. So again, there's plenty of things that we can work on, but what we want to work on first is maintaining and controlling better posture, because if you do that, then you're going to have more control over your arms and your hands. You won't have to make compensations coming down with your arms and your hands if you're not backing away from the ball so much. So when you stay in your posture, your arms and your hands are going to be able to time the impact position much better, and we can start getting your compression on the golf ball with your irons and all your golf clubs much more consistent from the start of the swing to finishing your golf swing.